Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to Elmore County Commission Work Session for April 24th, 2023. I'll call this meeting to order. Tonight, we want to start with two special presentations for our student athletes here in the county. On an ongoing basis, the Elmore County Commission recognizes our student athletes in the county for the ones that have won championship titles or awards they've achieved in individual and team sports. And tonight, we have two students we want to recognize from Wetumpka High School in their accomplishments in wrestling. So I'm going to ask Christian Preston and Willie Cox, along with Coach Allen, if you want to come to the podium. I'm going to read the agenda item. Yeah, just walk around, if you will, in front of Mr. Norris there and come to the microphone. I'm going to read the two agenda items and then a short excerpt from the resolution we'll be adopting here tonight. Appreciate y'all being here. The first one is a resolution honoring the achievements of Christian Preston, AHSAA Class 6A Wrestling State Championship, 220 weight pound class. And a little from the resolution we'll be passing. Christian is a junior at Wetumpka High School and wrestles in a 220-pound weight division. Christian is a three-time state qualifier and has placed twice in the state. And during the 2023 season, he finished with an overall 36-4 record and was named the AHSAA 2023 Class 6A State Wrestling Champion. Which one are you, Christian? Okay. All right. Good. Congratulations. And so now I want to read an excerpt from the resolution that we'll be passing for Willie Cox. The agenda item is a resolution honoring the achievements of Willie Cox, AHSAA Class 6A Wrestling State Champion, 285-pound weight class. And that resolution in part reads, Willie is a junior at Wetumpka High School and wrestles in the 285-pound weight division. Willie has qualified and placed twice in the state tournament. And during the 2023 season, he finished with an overall 43-2 record and was named AHSAA 2023 Class 6A State Wrestling Championship. I want to say congratulations to both of y'all and to Coach Allen for that accomplishment. I know there's a lot of hard work put into that, and as I was getting prepared, Willie, I did not know that you were the Willie that I have known since you were about this tall. You've grown quite a bit since the last time I've seen you. So congratulations. Coach, you have some thoughts maybe you want to share about their season?
Yes, these two work hard. Well, first and foremost, they're partners in practice, so it pays off when I say the phrase, iron sharpens iron. These two guys work hard, very hard. Both of them are undersized in their weight class, and you wouldn't be able to tell it. They can handle any of them in the state, and I'll put them against any of them in the state. And I'm just super proud of them, and the good thing is they come back next year. So hopefully you guys will be talking to them again next year, and they'll continue to rise up again.
Well, we appreciate that. This is surely not your first time being here, so we appreciate what you do for our students. So any comments from my fellow commissioners?
Coach, I want to know what y'all are doing in practice because you have brought so many of these wonderful students in here this year. Congratulations, guys. Super, super proud of you.
Coach, thank you for being a great leader and working hard for the students here at Wetumpka High School. And being an ex-Wetumpka wrestler myself many, many years ago, but I was a little bitty fellow then, and I don't think I can handle them now, okay? And we look forward to having you here again next year, but I always like to challenge you, number one, to be a good leader, not just be a wrestler, okay? Be a good leader and good student in school and good Christian for your community. Thank you.
Congratulations to you guys as students. What an accomplishment. And congratulations to Coach and congratulations to your families, because I know you couldn't do what you do without the families too. So congratulations to all of you. We are very, very proud.
I want to offer my congratulations. I don't know why anybody wants to wrestle against y'all. I've been here at the commission since November, and every meeting we're honoring somebody from our schools, and especially Wetumpka. Y'all gonna work yourself out of a job. Nobody's gonna want to come wrestle you because y'all are so good. But hey, you're in a unique position, and take these skills, these life skills that you're learning, and put them towards leading others and mentoring. There's guys coming up that's going to be wrestlers and stuff. They look at you. You got a wonderful platform to influence younger people. And I hope you take that opportunity and do that. But again, congratulations on your titles.
Thank you. We appreciate those comments.
Pictures?
Yeah, and if I can, I want to invite you to come around to the front here, and if you have any of your family or friends that want to come, we'll take individual pictures.
Come on, Shorty. We'll put her out front. Very good. Good job, guys. Congratulations. Good job. Good job, Coach. Hey, and I can't believe he couldn't tell who was the heavyweight or not.
Congratulations, guys. That's awesome. Good job, guys.
All right, now we move to our next agenda item, which is Fair Housing Month resolution. April is recognized as Fair Housing Month, and the Elmore County Commission is committed to highlighting the programs and policies established by the Fair Housing Act that was enacted as a part of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, with its purpose being to ensure that people had access to housing regardless of their race, religion, gender, disability, along with many other individual characteristics to make sure that no one's singled out because of any of that. So as we discuss this tonight, tonight's meeting, we want to be reminded of the importance of this matter when it comes to housing, along with the many other things that discrimination can be influenced by or imposed upon that would single someone out. Any comments from my commissioners? Righty, we want to now move on to regular business. Review the minutes of the April 13th, 2023 commission meeting. Any questions or comments from commissioners? Next item, review the memorandum of warrants for a period of April 1, 2023 through April 14th, 2023. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, during that time period, the memorandum of warrants was $5,649,595.48.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Byer? All right, now to new business. The agenda item is Pam Hughes, Mid-South RC&D Council, and Ms. Hughes is not being able to be with us tonight. She is Executive Director of the Mid-South RC&D, and tonight we have one of their board members, Mr. J.O. Norris, with us, and he's going to come to the podium and share with us about their organization. And also want to recognize here with us tonight is Commissioner Desiree Lewis, of course, and she is also a board member. So we appreciate what each of you do on that board to service the citizens. Mr. Norris?
Thank you. I have with me this Ward over here. She works full-time with Pam in our office here in Montgomery. And for those that don't know me, I know Desiree real well because I don't think she's missed a meeting since she came on as one of the members of RC&D, and that stands for Resource Conservation and Development. And she took Troy Stubbs' place, and I've been associated with RC&D since the mid-'60s. They used to be funded by the federal government, and in the '80s, they cut them out, and back then, it was either soil or water is the only way you got approved under RC&D. And now, I don't think y'all could come up with something that couldn't be as a project turned in, especially if we work with 501(c) organizations. And I know there's not a fire station in Elmore County that we haven't done multitude agreements with. And that's just one thing. I mean, there's hundreds. And, tonight, what I would like to do is to tell y'all a few things that now is the time to get in the applications for 2004, 24, excuse me. It opened up on April the 1st for us to start taking applications, and it closes on June the 30th of 23. Now, it would start for October of 23. You can't do anything until then. It's gonna take us that long to get all of our applications in and see who gets approved, and we don't even know how much money we got now, but all the funds that we get now, there's 9 councils in the state of Alabama, and it covers all 67 counties. And Mid-South is the one Elmore County is in, and there's 8 counties in that Mid-South RC&D. And I'm the chairman of those 8 counties. Each person in those counties would have a chairman that would, they run their county. We don't tell them what projects to get and all this kind of stuff. They just submit a project. We just have to look at them. We turn them into our state office, who is located over in the Beard Building, Richard Beard Building, over there with Commissioner Pate. And they also have 3 employees over there. And by that time, we'll know the funds that we got. And you have to request at least $5,000. We had it a lot lower than that at one time when we wasn't getting quite as much money. And if it wasn't for our legislators, and y'all know who they all are, and if you see one of them, tell them that this RC&D is a good organization, because we're 501(c)(2). And I told somebody the other day, I finally found a job this is the best job I ever had. They finally paying me for what I'm worth, I reckon, because I don't get one dime, not one penny. I'm all volunteered, and a lot of people are volunteers that work with this, and just like you first responders, they all volunteers, and my hat's off to them. You can't do enough for them. And so there's a lot of need out there for these agreements, and that's the main thing that we want to make you aware of. There is a time frame of getting the applications in, and then we'd love to fund every one of them for whatever amount y'all put on it. But remember, it's got to be 5,000, and usually 20 is about the cutoff, but it depends on the application, and there is some community development block grants that Desiree she's aware of, and she's going to be y'all's expert, because she's learning, but she has learned a lot, and there is a lot to it.
Yes.
Correct?
That is right, J.O., that's right.
And so, if anybody, our mission is, we feel like we're the gap that fills where you can't sign up for something else. It's an online application. It's fairly simple to fill out. And, it's like I tell everybody, you don't get nothing if you can't apply.
We sure appreciate you being here with us. As you and I spoke a minute ago, we talked about 5 projects that I just can remember that y'all have funded, and we know y'all have a great presence in the county, and we sure appreciate what you do and appreciate you coming here tonight.
And if any of y'all got any questions, there's 2 phone numbers on here that's to the office over there, and there's somebody there usually. Crystal's there, and Pam's there, and I'm there sometimes.
Any other comments from commissioners?
I'd just like to add, commissioners, that since I've joined the Mid-South RC&D Board, it is such an amazing program. J.O. can never retire from being the chairman. I think that's everybody's consensus. He does a wonderful job, and he's been helping me and showing me how everything goes. In fact, we actually hung out this weekend at Crenshaw Park. It was Pam, Crystal, Caitlin, myself, and Richie. And just to see what Mid-South has done for our community with the playground equipment and what they do for Elmore and what all they are still doing, it's just amazing, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, I remember standing across the street over here about, 3 or 4 months ago, and at the museum and arts and everything back. It might have been longer than that. Before Troy ever became a representative, I think, and he was there, and, you know, we gave him a little money over there. But anyway, it's a good organization, and we'd like for every one of commissioners in their district, talk to some folks and see if you can't get an application in, and, you know, we can't promise nothing, because we don't know what kind of funds we're gonna get, but we're gonna spend every dime of it, hopefully to the best, you know, for our community. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Norris.
Thank you, Mr. Norris. All right, next item.
By the way, I'm leaving these flyers, I put one on y'all's desk up there.
All righty, yeah, Rich, you'll take them there for me.
Yeah, you can give them out.
Thank you. Yes, sir, thank you. All right, next agenda item is consider setting a public hearing for 011 Lounge Retail Liquor Class 2 Package Alcohol License Application for Bottle Paradise by Bottle Paradise 4 Incorporated at 75928 Tallahassee Highway, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092. Are there any comments or questions for commissioners?
Is this new or just a re? New, okay.
All righty, next item, consider authorizing chairman to execute 5-year lease agreement with Pitney Bowes for a SendPro mail station basic mailing system for the Elmore County Public Works Office. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, similar to the copier agreements, this is just a multi-year lease off state contract.
All right, any questions for Mr. Byer? All right, now we'll move to personnel notifications. Notification and promotion of Michael Talley, investigator, effective 4/7/2023. Notification of termination of Christopher Heritage, corrections officer, 4/17/2023. Notification of hire of Lucianne Sumkutian, corrections officer, replace C. Heritage, effective 4/27/2023. Notification of resignation of Ashton Greer, IT specialist, effective 4/19/2023. Notification of promotion of Monica Henline Clements, administrative assistant to IT specialist, replace A. Greer, effective 4/24/2023. Notification of transfer of Bridget Eller, dispatch tier 2 to admin assistant, replace M. Henline Clements, effective 4/24/2023. Notification of transfer of Joshua Hill, corrections officer, to IT specialist, effective 4/27/2023. Notification of resignation of Jesse Hill, lieutenant, effective 4/28/2023. Notification of resignation of Tyranda Hurd, sergeant, effective 4/30/2023. Notification of resignation of Benjamin Woodfin, corrections officer, effective 5/12/2023. Notification of resignation of W. Ken Caver, building maintenance technician, effective 4/14/2023. Now we'll move to reports to the commission. Chief Operations Officer Richie Byer. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, just a couple items for you this evening. Later this week, we'll be in a position where we'll be getting some of our budget information for FY24 back from our different departments. Once we have that and tabulate that information, we'll be starting to make our schedule for budget hearings with those departments. We typically do that in the early part of June, and that's what we'll stick with for this year, unless y'all tell me differently. We anticipate a few things in that. We anticipate that those department heads will give us the items that they know that they're going to need in the coming year, and along with items that they desire to be included in the budget. We try to work through those. And this is also, as a reminder, this is also the time frame that we'll be having more detailed conversations with this transition from the temporary premium pay to putting that rate of pay in effect for FY24 and moving forward. If y'all recall, when we first started the temporary premium pay process, that was set to run through the end of FY24. You amended that back a few months ago to be able to take into account the end of the federal declaration for the COVID emergency. And so our TPP will run out at the end of this month, And then we will start that new process with increasing those rate of pays to keep up with the workforce and job demand overall. So those kind of discussions will be pretty heavy over the next couple months, but as I said, as we start going through the budget hearings with the different departments, we will be getting more in detail on those. You also have in your packet a legislative report, and unfortunately, I didn't talk to the chairman beforehand. I'm not sure if that's in his report or not, but this is something the ACCA asked for us to share with everybody, just to kind of give an update on where we stand on a lot of our bills. And the chairman may desire to give some additional comments on that when I finish my report, but those are just a snapshot. We also had some things today getting us ready for the coming week. I think there was one bill in the House that's sitting on go to be passed out of the House. And I can get you that information if you didn't get that email earlier. The last item has to do with our collection facility. We are set to push out some information to the public to give an update on operations of the collection facility. One thing we're going to push out is some increased hours of access. We have currently just Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday as hours of operation. Beginning next week, we will open that to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. You'll see, though, that there's some breaks on Tuesday in the middle of the day, basically around the lunch hour, and then we shorten the hours on Saturday to help us with the heavy volume that we deal with on Saturday. One of the issues we're having is making sure that we have the collection facility in a position to accept with open bins trash that's too big for somebody's residential container. We're getting a lot of other items that really, and honestly, if we had the manpower to check, we'd probably see that we weren't just getting residential garbage coming to that, residential debris. We're getting a lot of contractors or people that won't say they're contractors, but they're contractors. And the reason I say that is when you see a dump trailer come in multiple times during a month, it's kind of hard for somebody to continue to have that much to clean out over time. So that is another thing we put in here too, is we just cannot sustain having people bring dump trailers into the facility. They're dumping all over the ground. They're not getting into the containers. So those are kind of the major things that we want to message out is increased access, but also we have to put some limitations. The intent of this was for people who are paying for their residential service through the county's service with Arrow. That also includes our 4 municipalities that are participating in that, which is Deatsville, Eclectic, Elmore, and Wetumpka. We have not started standing at the gate and just checking bills or checking addresses or anything like that, but we have to start getting some kind of containment on that because it's not being used as we feel like is appropriate and what the commission intended years ago when it was intended to kind of take the burden off of citizens that can't get stuff into their regular cans. So the only other thing that is of note on here is we went ahead and put a list together for the next few years of normal closures. These normally happen around Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July timeframe, the Easter timeframe. We put some of these out because instead of trying to message that out a few weeks ahead of time, we wanted to have that on the county website, and we also want to have that posted to where people will know. The most disappointing email we can get from a citizen is saying, hey, I pulled up to the gate and didn't know you were closed. Well, I didn't see it on social media, or I didn't see it, in the paper, blah, blah, blah. So we just want to put that information out there. And this is just an effort to try to keep the employees that we have out there to make sure that we're not overusing them and putting them in a position where we can't get anybody to work those times. This will also be something we'll have a discussion with during the budget time of how we do some additional things out there manpower-wise to make this the most efficient and effective service for the citizens. So I think overall it's been very good for them. I think for the majority of you, you've gotten good comments about the facility. Every once in a while we get bad ones, but I think this has been a much better service for the citizens than, say, the old countywide cleanup days where we had a garbage truck parked at one location for 4 or 5 hours, and then the trucks would pack out, and they'd be gone, and nobody could put things there, and then we'd have stuff dumped all over the place. So I think this is a much better solution, and I think this is just a way to tweak that operation since we opened it in 2020 and make it even better. So, Mr. Chairman, those are the only items I had in my report. Do y'all have any questions or comments for me?
Any questions, Mr. Byer?
Mr. Byer, you might want to touch on the debris cleanup, if you would, for our residents, just to make sure we get a clear thing, because I understand it, we've made the first pass, and you might just fill them in right quick on that for us.
Yes, sir. The events that have occurred since January 12th, we are, well, let me rephrase that. The events that occurred from January 12th and prior, we feel like we're in a position that we have cleaned up all of that debris, whether it was under the debris contract with the FEMA declaration or is with our county forces for the events that weren't declared. The most recent one in late March, we just finished the first pass up near the Castaway Island area, one of the harder hit areas. We have some debris that's still up in those areas. Most of that is away from the roadside and has been brought to the roadside by residents. And we will be coming back to make a second pass on those. But we moved to the other hard hit area, which is over in the Millbrook Cusata area to do our major pass there, first pass there. Part of the reasoning behind that is to make sure that if there is something else that couldn't come to the right of way because debris was stacked at the roadside, that those citizens have that opportunity before that final pass is made. So we started over there today. I haven't heard any reports, good or bad, about that, but we will be finishing that area, then we'll return to Lake Martin, do our final pass there, and then come back to the Airport Road, Millbrook, Cusata. It's mainly in that Airport Road corridors where we had most dollar damage on the west side. So,
Very good. Thank you, sir.
All right, any other questions, Mr. Byer?
I've got a question. Mr. Byers, these non-accepted items, where can people take these things at?
most of those items can either go to an approved landfill. All we are is a collection facility that gets that to a transfer station. Some of these items, like appliances, propane tanks, gas tanks, those kind of things, a lot of those are accepted by some of these scrap dealers. So we've got one place, I think, here in the county that takes the appliances. I know that only part of them are in our county, but I know that the city of Prattville has a program where they take some appliances as well. So there are some opportunities there, but most of the things that we don't take are going to be considered more like on that hazardous waste side. So they've got to go to an approved landfill for that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions, Mr. Byer? No, we appreciate that report. All right, now we're going to move to reports from the commission. Commissioner Hines?
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I want to thank all of our employees and our school systems for our government day that we had. It was an outstanding day that went well that morning when it was cloudy and rainy. I think we all were worried, but it turned out great and had a great feedback from everyone that I've talked to. So that was a very unique type day, and even talked to some other counties that heard about it, and they wanted to know how we done it and stuff because they thought that was a great idea. Next of all, I want to thank our highway department. They've been under a lot of stress the last several months, 4 months especially. We're having 4 tornadoes come through our districts. They've been put under a lot of pressure and they're short of help, but they've worked endless hours to maintain and to take care of everything for our residents. So I just asked our residents to be patient. They are working as hard as they can for taking care of our roads and for cleaning up, and we only really got help from that one storm from FEMA, so the rest of it was on our employees, and there's a lot of stuff that was hauled. But again, I want to thank our employees, for our highway department, and everyone involved, and Mr. Byer for handling that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hines. Commissioner Daughtry?
Thank you for coming. Having grown up many years ago in Tallapoosa County, obviously the Dable tragedy is very near and dear to my heart. I knew some of the families personally. I knew basically every law enforcement officer over there that was involved. So I'd like to ask for everyone's continued prayers for that community. This is unprecedented in my lifetime in this part of the country. You know, you hear of it in other areas, you just hope and pray it never comes home, but it did this time. I'd like to thank the Dadeville Police Department, the Tallapoosa County Sheriff and DA's office, the Tuskegee Police Department, the Macon County Sheriff's Department, ALEA, the FBI, and the ATF. They all came together to, in what is in my mind is a long-term law enforcement officer, to solve this situation very quickly. I know we watch TV and we see NCIS and they get a lab report back in 30 minutes on the telephone, but we all know it doesn't work that way in real life. So for them to be able to solve this in just a matter of a few days and make 6 arrests with possibly more pending. By the way, none of those people were from, the shooters were from Dadeville. It's just amazing. The law enforcement, the district attorney, and everybody did an amazing job. They got very little sleep. I was in contact with some of them, and when something like that does happen major, nobody can sleep that's involved in that, and especially those victims. Good news, I can tell you there were 4 that were in very critical condition in the hospital. One of those came home today, and she's already made a post on Facebook thanking everybody for their prayers. And these were some of the finest young people you'd ever meet in your life. And if I had to describe Dadeville, it would be the epitome of a close-knit, just a big family community. And it's amazing how they've come together. It's amazing how other counties around them, to include Elmore County, everybody's, I mean, there have been prayer meetings and vigils all around, everywhere I can think of, from Auburn to Elliott City, Wetumpka, Prattville. And, but let's continue with that, because that city will never be the same. But we don't want them to be define them. We want them to overcome this, and we pray especially for those families involved that are having to cope with this, and those young people whose lives are scarred, and I just want to make sure we all remember them in our continued prayers on a long-term basis. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Commissioner Hill?
Well, the school system's fixing to be pretty busy this coming week. The track team this Friday and Saturday from Wetumpka will be hosting 17 teams at our track meets. Also on Friday at 5 p.m., Hopeful and Eclectic play in the second round of the Alabama State baseball playoffs. So somebody's going to go home. Don't know who yet. Stanhope Elmore plays at 4:30. They're going to be playing against Hueytown, and they're also in the second round of the Alabama State baseball playoffs. And all the games, I was told, are best of 3 games. Something that's coming up on May the 2nd is the Joel Sewell Memorial Banquet. It's going to be held here at the Wetumpka Civic Center. I don't have a time on that yet. And something that just, I went and watched earlier this year, the robotics team over here at Wetumpka Middle. But Wetumpka Middle and Millbrook Middle's robotics team are going to a world competition in Dallas, Texas. And they're going to be competing against teams from Germany and China, and that's later on in a couple of months from now, but they will be going. And I think that's pretty special. I was able to attend the Board of Education meeting last Tuesday, and as they were talking about things, but one thing that stuck in my mind, they had one of the librarians and media specialists from Casada Elementary, and she was giving a report that since the first of the year up until about 2 weeks ago, in the elementary school and middle school, if I figured this right, a little over 400,000 books have been checked out and read. That's pretty impressive. 400,000. So I'm real proud of our kids. And you know, anytime they can pick up a book and read and stay off of these phones, it's a good thing in my eyes. But that's all I have right now.
Thank you. Commissioner Jackson?
Thank you, Chairman. To reflect off of what Commissioner Daughtry was saying about Dadeville, I'd like to announce that Elmore County is addressing violence, and our Elmore County chapter of NAACP Branch 5026 will actually be having a Stop Gun Violence event on Saturday, and they are encouraging everyone in our community to come out. Speakers are going to be law enforcement, the community, civic organizations, Board of Education members, students. So we would like Elmore County to make a big response and come on out to hear how we can stop violence, because we have to protect our children. They're our future. The event's going to be this Saturday at the Ranch Multiplex from 12 to 2. Chairman, that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Appreciate what each of my fellow commissioners do, and I have one item I'd like to report on. That's our unemployment rate for the month of March in Elmore County. It was reported by the state to be 1.6%, which was compared to a rate of 2% in February, and while at the same period during March, the statewide rate was 2.3%. It was also reported in the same report that Elmore County has the lowest unemployment rate compared to the counties contiguous to Elmore, and we have the third lowest rate, unemployment rate in the state. One number that we always watch when these reports come out is our workforce in the county, and this, in March, we added month over month 169 jobs, which is very encouraging. I now call on Ms. Brittany, if she will, to please read the important calendar dates.
Monday, May 8th will be our next commission work session at 5 p.m. with a business meeting immediately following. Monday, May 22nd, we'll have a commission work session at 5 p.m. with a business meeting immediately following. And on Monday, May 29th, the administrative complex will be closed in observance of Memorial Day.
Thank you. We'll reconvene for the business meeting here shortly. Good evening. I want to welcome everyone to Elmore County Commission meeting for April 24th, 2023. I'll call this meeting to order. I'll ask Commissioner Daughtry to offer our invocation and Commissioner Jackson to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Jackson? Commissioner Daughtry.
Thank you. Let us pray. Father, we come to you tonight asking for your wisdom and your guidance in everything that we do in serving the people of this county. We pray especially for the people of Dadeville, Alabama, the victims, the law enforcement officers, everyone involved in that tragedy. May you give them peace and comfort. As we go through the further business, may we always realize that everything that's good comes from you. And we'll be always careful to give you the praise, because it's your precious name that we ask. Amen.
Amen.
Ms. Brittany, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hines?
Here.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Here.
Chairman Mercer?
Here.
Commissioner Hill?
Here.
Commissioner Jackson?
Here.
The first agenda item is a special presentation. Is there a motion to approve a resolution honoring the achievements of Christian Preston, AHSAA Class 6A Wrestling State Champion, 220-pound class?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve a resolution honoring the achievements of Willie Cox, AHSAA Class 6A Wrestling State Champion, 285-pound class?
Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the Fair Housing Month resolution?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Now we'll move to regular business. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the April 13th, 2023 commission meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of warrants for a period of April 1, 2023 through April 14th, 2023?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
All right, now we'll move on to new business. Is there a motion to approve or deny setting a public hearing on Monday, May 8th, 2023 at 5 p.m. for a 011 lounge retail liquor Class II package alcohol license application for Bottle Paradise by Bottle Paradise 4 Incorporated at 75928 Tallahassee Highway, Wetumpka, Alabama 36092.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve or deny authorizing the chairman to execute 5-year lease agreement with Pitney Bowes for a Centro Mail Station basic mailing system for the Elmore County Public Works Department?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
We will forego any readings, additional readings of the personnel notifications. Are there any additional reports to the commission?
No, sir.
Are there any additional reports from commissioners? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Ms. Brittany?
Commissioner Hines?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson?
Yes.
We are adjourned.